on! Football!
All right, it's time for another film review here where we get to go behind the scenes, behind the curtain with two former NFL offensive linemen, Jeremiah Sirles and Alex Boone. I'm Phil Mackey representing the fans out there. And today, boys, we're going to take a look. We took a look at the Lions a few weeks ago, but the Detroit Lions are one of the best teams in the NFL, and their passing game on the road against a good Bucs defense was lights out. And we're going to do a deep dive right now.
I mean, talk about they just got Jameson Williams back. Right, that dude is so fast, first-round talent, loves to gamble, loves to throw money. But, now he's back. There's new rules. He's back. He's ready to go, and he's going to be the deep threat with – you talk about a three passing attack punch between Amon-Ra St. Brown, Williams, and then Sam Laporta coming in and being one of the best pass-catching tight ends as a rookie. I mean, they went from Hawkinson to Laporta. They're just going to keep drafting Iowa tight ends until they get proven wrong.
Dude, half the league has an Iowa tight end right now.
It's ridiculous. They are tight end you by far.
They can't score points, but they always have NFL tight ends at Iowa. So let's just jump right in here. And by the way, if you haven't already, or maybe you're new to the channel, if you could click the like button and the subscribe button on the O-Line Committee YouTube channel, you can help us keep growing this offensive line lifestyle community that we just launched in May of last year.
Can we talk about how terrible the creamsicle uniforms are?
I liked them.
I do too, man.
I think they're hideous.
Oh, I love them. I want
Look
one.
like the Tennessee Volunteers.
I want one.
I do too, actually. I would wear one on the show here.
I would too.
Booney.
I would
go.
probably wear a Vita Vea one too.
All right,
I'd go old school, man.
Tampa makes the playoffs. You guys buying a creamsicle Vita Vea jersey?
For sure.
I'll buy a Leroy Selman one.
I think the one thing that hasn't really been talked about yet is their offensive line and what they've been doing and how well they play and how they've been keeping Jared Goff in that backfield pretty calm. And I think that that's a lot of what the success you see this year is coming from these guys up front. And not only that, but they've taken on the personality of their coach. Like, they are just grinders, dude. They enjoy this kind of stuff, these games. This was one of the games where it was probably one of the hardest hitting games I've seen in a while, and it was fun to watch. And this is what the Lions are starting to bring to the NFL. Simple missile screen. These plays like this, and this probably doesn't get stated a lot, is so awesome because it slows down the pass rush. Because the minute these dudes get turbo, you just leave. And they're like, shit. And you're like, that's right. We might just up and leave out of nowhere all of a sudden. You don't know if it's a pass or if it's a missile or what it is. And it's the changing and the variety of this that gets a defense off guard, especially a defense like this.
And you can really only do it if you have super athletic tackles. Penei Sewell.
Look at him.
I mean, Penei Sewell running out, staying flat, climbing. And then the really nice thing is, I think that's Graham Glasgow, number 60. If I'm not mistaken, I could be getting that wrong. Sorry.
No, you're right.
But what's great here is we used to call it the pizza. Right? Because in reality, if this is on paper, 58 should be climbing up to the safety, right? But because he wants to get the play started and he feels this guy coming over the top, he just takes his. And the idea of the pizza is you take my slice, I take yours, right? And so you see Penei's looking this guy up like, okay, he's going to be first threat here, so let me just take him. And then you see Graham Glasgow actually be able to adjust on the run and circle around and be like, okay, I can try to come up to the safety. Right, I know he misses them, but that's just meaning and showing how in sync those guys are with each other and trusting each other. Be like, oh, he takes mine, I take his. We all know what the assignment is, but we'll just find a way to get everything started off the ground.
As soon as this ball gets caught, Mackie, I want you to pause it. As soon as we can see it get caught, right there. See these two guys out on the outside blocking. This is what sets this play up, and this is a problem in the league. Is you don't see guys downfield blocking receivers like this on every team. And if you did, you would have so much success because plays like this come alive.
We're going to see one later, too, by the way.
When Craig Reynolds annihilates half the team. But that is why they're having such success, is because we can't do all the blocking. You guys have to show up for us, too. And now you have two receivers out there creating this running lane up the sidewalk, which is just the most beautiful goddamn thing I've seen in a long time.
Dude,
I'm telling you right now, Dan Campbell, I need tickets, dude. I want to come meet you.
Dan Campbell.
Here's a guy who will bite your damn kneecap off.
But don't the Lions
hit Hank up?
Oh, Hank's the man. Oh, shout out Hank Fraley, O-line coach. Love him.
Don't the Lions, in that regard, just the receivers blocking on the edge and receivers loving blocking, right? It reminds you of the Niners culture.
Yeah.
The Niners receivers I'm sure they find it to be kind of painstaking. They'd rather catch passes, but they dig in there and they block, and that's what the Lions culture feels like to me anyway. So we got.
I thought you were about to show us a punt.
I was going to say, don't ever pull up a punt on here. You know I hate punters.
It's a little punt flash on the screen.
Little 12 personnel here.
Ooh, look at that. Oh, we're moving. We're on the move. I love it.
That's so filthy. That is a filthy play call.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Go back.
Talk dirty to me. Here's what I love. I love all the movement pre-snap, and then I love the way that the play plays out at the end. Because as it goes
right here.
As it goes on, right, everything comes to us here. We get a tight end coming in motion across. All of a sudden, we're adding on to this, and then at the last second, we have Laporta going in motion or running like a Z hide. Right here, he's gone. And at the same time, we're going to fake this play action over here. We're going to get everyone to be like, oh, yeah, it's a fake. It's a fake. And so they try to bite through. Like, look at 96. He's like, yo, I got it diagnosed. I know. I'm going to make this play. I got this. Right? And then all of a sudden, we're just going to flip it right back to him. Like, this is so sexy and fun. And it's so the new wave of the Lions. And I love it.
I mean, the big thing here is you look at, again, I'm going to speak on the tackles. Taylor Decker is the one that makes this play go. He is the last line of defense. As soon as they motion Laporta across here, he has to block the end man out there, else this play is dead on arrival. Right? You see Levante David takes it hook, line, and sinker, and then you just see Decker out here going mirror with a corner who's obviously much more athletic than him. But if you can just watch the way he runs and just stays on his toes, doesn't go for the kill shot, and just understands, I just got to get my hands on you, and I'll be able to take you wherever I want to take you. Right? A lot of tackles here try and kill this guy, but here he's just mirroring him, buying time, and then goes and attacks him. And once you get hands on a corner, it's over. Like they're not going anywhere. Frank Ragnow climbing up there again. Graham Glasgow getting up at the second level. Laporta getting downfield. Look at everyone running downfield. You can count all 5 offensive linemen are down there. Tight ends. There's Amon-Ra St. Brown. Williams coming into the screen. Like this is a high effort, high intensity football team.
It's a mentality to go out there for 60 minutes and give it everything you got. Because as the game goes on, you'll see guys will start to fade. Like the wide receivers will stop blocking. But when you can run a play like this, and like Jay said, you see everybody come into the frame doing something at some point. That is a team effort. And that's when the teams become the most dangerous. And people can laugh and sleep on the lines as much as they want. But now they're starting to show you, like, yeah, no, we're them. We are the real deal. We're ready to come out here and hit you in the mouth. And I think that's one of the toughest things to beat a team is when they know they can go punch for punch with you. Like, they're like, yeah, we're just as tough as the head man. We'll do this all day. Like, you almost are like, well, get ready to beat your head against a wall for a while, boys.
Again, these are all just like short little screen.
Well,
like these are.
This is an aggressive defense. We talked about it in our pick segment on the podcast of why we're picking the Buccaneers over the Falcons this week is because of the aggressiveness of this defense. Dan Campbell's like, good, beat your head against the wall. We're just going to quick screen you to death. Right. That's the number one way to beat the blitz. When I was with Phillip Rivers, this was the number one check. Anytime he had a blitz, we went to Mickey Tiger or Mickey Phil, which was our wide receiver screen, and Tiger was right, Phil was left because of L and R, but also because Phil Mickelson was a left-handed golfer. But it's like he sees it. Again, this is what we talked about on our last breakdown too with Justin Fields of not having pre-snap reads. Goff sees this. Goff checks to this. This was not the play call. Right? If you go back to the top here.
You want wide or you want end zone?
The wide one. The wide here is great. Like initially, right? So go all the way back to the start of this play. Like initially, this is an empty protection, right? Goff sees it. He's like, okay, I'm dead if I try and throw this ball. Hey, easy. Hey, check whatever. Check blitz. Check screen. Mickey Tiger, right? Mickey Tiger. You see those two guys are communicating on the outside. I'm 1, you're 2. And then he just gets to it. And again, a great execution because you see a lot of these fail. But it's because of poor execution from the guys up front. But they're all in sync. They're all in timing. They're all getting out at the exact same time.
Look at that picture right there.
God, look
at all the creamsicle on one side and all the white. See, that's what I said. This is how you slow their rush down. This is the second time we've seen this. So now at this point, the defensive line's like, okay, maybe we take half a tick off.
But
maybe we move.
But it talks about to Boone too about the receivers, like understanding who has 1, who has 2, here has 3. Right, like they know the count, they know their assignments, and they're willing to go do the dirty work.
That's such a
beautiful football play.
I love it so much.
We'll go one more time from this view, full speed. We have one more here too.
Goff checks it, He knows what's going on here.
He knows it's 0 right there.
Yep.
He's like, oh, we're 0. Everybody
Boom.
get out.
Ball out.
Dude, you know what? I want to say something about Goff here, too, because he became a punchline like 2 or 3 years ago, got shipped out. They trade him for Matthew Stafford. Obviously, it worked out for the Rams because Stafford was kind of the final piece to a puzzle. But once that trade was made, people wrote Jared Goff off as a bust. Oh, well, he's just going to be in Lions purgatory. He's a bust, right? They're just like eating his salary until they draft their quarterback of the future. This dude's been, I'm not saying he's Patrick Mahomes, but like this dude's been really good in this system for 2 years. And you can, if he drove a car to the Super Bowl 5 or 6 years ago, and he's a better quarterback now than he was then.
Isn't he like 13-2 in his last like 18 starts or something stupid like that?
Yeah.
Like he's since the midpoint of last year when this team really got hot. Oh my gosh. You bring that guy back into this offense now?
Oh, boy. We're going to have problems.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Hey, starts up front, man. We talked about it. This is an aggressive front. We
It's a
know
third down,
what
by
they
the
are.
way.
3rd and 10.
3rd and 10 on this play. This is a 3rd and 10.
Forever and a day, any time that this defense is run by this defensive coordinator, they are going to be the most hellacious pass rushers. Like, they just come after everybody. And look at what the protection that he's given here. And I agree with you. I think he was written off a long time ago. People were like, oh, Stafford's the one that's going to do it for him. And they kind of put him here at the Lions, and everyone was like, exactly what we thought. But, dude, throwing this ball, I mean, come on.
Completely clean pocket.
How far did he throw that damn thing? 55 yards? My God. And look,
So it's like the goal line. It's on the goal line.
Ball's on the 40. He's throwing it from the 50.
Dude.
So he takes a drop. He's on the 45.
Back foot 10, 11 yards back. I mean, that's a 50. That's
a
55-yard
dart.
Yeah.
If that's Josh Allen, every commentator is just going,
But they're not, because it's Jared Goff and it's the Lions and it's how long we've seen the Lions suck, and now all of a sudden people still can't believe it. But I'm telling you, they are them. They are tough, dude. The fact that you see everybody in here giving it everything they have every play, that's enough for me to be like, that's a scary team. You have to watch out at any time, because at any moment, any play can break, because the guys on the outside are doing their job. The guys in the middle are doing their job. We're a good team. And then to talk about defensively, how they've been playing. I mean, dude, they're
but I
a
mean,
tough team.
you talk about like Montgomery gets hurt, Jahmyr Gibbs gets hurt, and you're like, oh, this is a run-first football team. They're screwed. They don't know what to do. They showed in that game, and again, I don't think Tampa's world beaters by any means, but they showed in that game, like, we can do both. You want to take away the run? Sweet, we'll throw it over your head. You want to sit back and play coverage? We're going to pound it right up the A gaps. Mm-hmm. They are shown that they can do whatever they want to do offensively, and as long as Goff plays good, manageable football, I mean, the sky's the limit for this team.
And they've got they've got kind of, tough old school, football head coach guy.
Yeah.
And then they've got cerebral, creative offensive coordinator, and I don't know, how much overlap there is in terms of Campbell on the offensive scheming side or whatever, but like however they work together, it feels like the perfect blend of both of their personalities injected into this football team.
Yeah.
It's a blast to watch.
They're going to win the North, and they're going to make a deep playoff run if they can stay healthy.
Yeah.
Would football just break if the Lions freaking went to the Super Bowl?
Oh, I'd love it. I'd wear a Lions jersey if the Lions went to the Super Bowl. 100%.
Man.
I think a lot of people would.
Yeah, I think the country would be like, you guys have suffered long enough. Like it's time. It's time for you to have your moment in the sun.
It's like when the Cubs went to the World Series in 2016, and everyone's like, okay, yeah, we can all get behind 108 years of no World Series.
Exactly.
We'll see what happens. So, again, if you could click the like button and the subscribe button here on the O-Line Committee YouTube channel, and then give us suggestions in the comment section about what other things, teams, players that you'd like to see these guys break down from an offensive line trenches perspective here.